All right. All right, all right. We meet again. I feel like I was just here. Weird deja vu, as they say. Streampalooza weekend, that's right. It's fairly nonstop. And we're streaming again Tuesday night. It's a game stream. The rare bird, the rare variant game stream. These are like the little details I like to add after the fact. Okay, so today is it's the weekly art stream. Get this out of the way. It's much more free form than anything I traditionally do now, it seems like. Good morning. Got VZ8 in the house. Well, Bruce, sorry, we got a lot of the regulars here. Janella. I think Janella just stayed up. Kirihiko, who does not sleep. Confirmed. Effects. Good to see you. You were here. Nolan Elric. Queen City Amusements. Got some rest, I hope. Thank you for subbing again. 5 months of awesome happiness. I'm glad that we make a difference. Thank you very much. Nolan Elric has resubscribed. 6 weeks or 6 months worth. Give Tom Grunnett more Titans work, sir, please. Okay. DJ Carlson, 160, has cheered. Thank you for your support, DJ. Looking forward to meeting you in Chicago at Graham Crackers. Yes, I'll be there. What day? What day am I going to be there? Without this phone, I would be out of luck. SOL, as they say. I will be there April 4th in the early evening, I believe. I would go to their website to find exactly the location. I think it's Inside the Loop or something like that. Toxicity8827 has resubscribed for 5 months. Thank you. System fan, obviously. And yeah, that brings me... There was, I think, a bunch of people that subscribed right after I last streamed, which was, what, like at 5:30 last... No, it was earlier. Sorry. 4:30, I think. I stayed up for another hour. I went to go... we hosted another streamer named Solus_Gray. Recommend checking out his work. He's like, I think he's like 20-year-old Australian university student who streams artwork, and it's just kind of interesting to see someone from almost completely the other side of the world doing his thing, and it was a lot of fun kind of interacting with him for a little bit before I had a crash. But after I stream, I'm usually a little pumped, and last night I finished this page, and that makes me even more so. And so this is going to the Inca, Scott Williams, and I'll make sure I don't roll over it with my chair. That's happened. Okay, so today it's just a regular art stream, so I kind of draw various things, and I do a weekly, or not weekly, but every one of these streams I give away some art. And this week it's open to anyone who's a sub. So every session, it kind of rotates through a cycle. So it goes to everybody in channel, so you don't have to be a sub. I want to, even if you just tune in and follow, I'm happy to gift one of the viewers a piece of art. But then the next session, it goes to sub 5, 10, 25, so it's everyone who subs. Then the following session, it goes to sub 10s and 25s only, and then the next session, sub 25 only, and then it resets to everybody. And so obviously the people that sub at a deeper, higher level have more opportunities to win, but I think that's appropriate, frankly. And if you don't, even if you're on a budget and just tune in because you enjoy watching live drawing and can hopefully win something, you have that chance. So I want to thank everyone that basically tunes in regardless of your level of support. Okay. What do we have? We have Michael Michael EDW has subscribed using his Prime membership. So, brief moment to explain to those who don't know what that means. If you are a Amazon Prime member, Amazon owns Twitch, they give you a complimentary subscription that you can use for anybody. So you can sub here, you can sub elsewhere, you can sub at Solus_Gray. You could sub at Kirihiko. She also streams as well, and that's a pretty cool feature to have. They're basically subsidizing some of the activity that goes on Twitch. Sundance 321 as well has joined using Prime. Well, Bruce Art. For those of you who are new to stream, you will see him and Jonella and Ignite Comics. These guys are some of the biggest cheers and supporters. They back it up with these cheers. 1,000 bits. Thank you very much, Ignite Comics. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Spence New 52 has resubscribed for 3 months. Welcome back, or continued welcomes, if that's a phrase. I don't know. What else do we have? Illustrateer has cheered as well. Shamrock 100. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. I can't wear green because of this green screen behind me. I knew there was a reason. I'm not a big St. Patty's Day guy, but it's always interesting. the sort of the group thing, they go out in public and everyone's like wearing green. It's unusual. Anyway, I'm just not. I'm a curmudgeon. All right, let's see what else we got. Well, Bruce Art has resubscribed for 6 months. Thank you very much. 6 months of geekness. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thumbs in My Chili has subscribed 3 minutes ago. Thumbs in My Chili, big Wendy's chili fan. Last night we devoted at least a whole whole block of time talking about fast food. It was fantastic. Just a highlight. And I think that thank you, Queen City Amusements, for the bits. Very, very cool of you. You guys are very active this morning. Ivan the Really Terrible has resubscribed for 5 months. Jim Lee's the best. Thank you, Ivan the Terrible. You are the most terriblest. And I mean that in the most terrible way. So I'm current, except for, well, Bruce Art has re-cheered. Thank you, well, Bruce Art. And Book and Red 1442. Thank you. You guys are big supporters. I'd like to thank you guys publicly for your support. Friendly Diarrhea. Friendly Diarrhea, someone that follows Crispy Burrito around. They follow kind of hand in hand often. Has subscribed, as has Carthalian, and Coach 2 Coins. Coach 2 Coins. Oh, that's an unusual name. Interesting. Ichigo Hai TW has also subscribed, and Abetis has cheered along with Pity83 from the Netherlands, Janella from the Philippines, thereby illustrating how worldwide we are. We basically have people that tune in now 24/7, and if you were here last night, I was drawing from 11:30 Pacific time till about 4:30 in the morning, about 5 hours and 1 second was the official clock. Cross Contour, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome in. And I finished my Action 1000 story, so that was super exciting. There was a lot of Crispies last night, Crispy. There were people in your sort of acting as your what's it called? When people carry other people's babies, they are called. This is what happens when you only sleep 3.5 hours. All right. Okay, you forget words. That's the first thing to go. That's one thing I've noticed. Ability to speak and draw upon short-term memory. I was talking about polyphasic sleep. Let me get started. Because I usually burn at least half an hour, 15 minutes talking, and on YouTube they're like, drawing actually commences at 11:28, and everyone's like, "Thank you, Jesus, thank you." All right. So I'm going to take the last 4 cheers. What do we have? We have Sorensian. Thank you for cheering. Jonella, Batman Guy, thank you for the cheer. And Book and Red 1442. Those last 4 cheerers. each of you guys go ahead and submit. Actually, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and submit an idea, a character for me to sketch, and then I'll open up to the group to vote, see which one I should do. You know, can you go 5 on the poll? If I can go 5, you know, Will Bruce Art, you're always in there too, so I'm going to go ahead and give them an opportunity as well. Go ahead and if the mods could kind of pick out what those guys vote for, that would be helpful. And then I'll open it up. But yeah, last night was very eventful. For those guys that missed the stream, Crispy Egg Roll, we had Brian Michael Bendis join in, and I saw people were putting at Michael, you know, Brian M. Bendis in chat, and I'm thinking, why are they, you know, using the @ symbol at him? I mean, he's not on Twitch, and I guess he had commented stream. He actually had sent me an email like at 4 in the morning, say, "Hey, this is the real, you know, Brian Bendis." I missed it in stream. I only glance up every now and then, and I like to think that I'm on top of the stream, but I wasn't. And so I missed him last night, but obviously it was awesome. I mean, it would have been very, very cool. I mean, the fact that he even tuned in, why was he even awake at 4:30 in the morning? I don't know. I missed him last night. It's particularly on a Saturday/Sunday. You know, at 4:30 in the morning. It's not like he's got 9 kids to take care of. I mean, particularly on a Saturday. But I think he also works some pretty crazy hours too. I mean, this is a man that writes a lot of books a month. I mean, he's super prolific and super good. So he puts in the time. Echo the Dolphin. Okay, I don't know who Echo the Dolphin is. Janella has cheered 300 bits. Thank you very much, man. Draw Captain America from Infinity War. That's one way of putting your vote in. That's helps. Okay, so who's the real Jim? I don't know. Okay, so that's one way of putting your vote in. That helps. Sound as a problem. Yeah, you know, everyone's gonna have issues with something. I found generally the sound. There's an echo. You know, everyone got it. Echo the Dolphin. I found generally. Okay, sorry. Oh my God. Oh, can I restart the stream? Is that possible? Redo? Yeah, I got it, guys. I got it. Finally, after 10 minutes, everyone's spamming Echo the Dolphin. What? Go to bed. All right, see you guys. I'll see you later. I'm out. Peace. Okay, let's... I know I fixed it because I had the volume on because I was listening. I was following Solus_Gray. The nice thing about streaming all night and then sleeping 3 hours or whatever, 3.5 hours, and jumping back on is that everything is set up the way you last saw it. So everything's pretty. All the windows I need are open. I just forgot I had turned on the volume so I could listen to Solus talk. He had a very soothing voice, very pleasing young man. Redo. Crispy Egg Roll. That's right. That was a re-roll right there. Sorry about that. Delete this VOD. I should just start over. I've said nothing of import, which is par for the course. Okay. All right. So we have Captain America from Infinity War. Very specific. I don't know how he differs from regular Captain America. Brand Nubian has subscribed. That's cool. Brand Nubian. Okay. So Brian Michael Bendis was here, and then Crayota, a big-time Twitcher, YouTube gamer, raided the group. We've been raided before, but I think we had raids of like 2,000, 3,000, and 5,000 people last night. It got a little crazy. I mean, I honestly had no idea if we were being, invaded, doxxed or something like, or what the Twitch equivalent of that is. Beta83 has resubscribed. Thank you very much. 5 months worth. Thank you. And so that was kind of thrilling. A lot of people were coming and going, who dis? And who the hell are you? And so it was an awkward moment where I was kind of trying to remember everything I've done for the past 31 years of my career. And I realized there's not a lot. I try to talk about Girl Scout cookie sales as much as possible, but at the end of the day, so 5,000. So we got to over 5,000 concurrent views. And if any of you guys are still around from last night, thanks for, hanging in there. Okay, but we talked about DC Universe Online. We talked about Wildcats, Gen 13, Omega Red, Gambit. You know, yeah, all these notable accomplishments. Oh, working on Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Arkham Asylum designs out of Wildstorm. So there's actually a fair, you know, I was just being facetious and being snarky, smart-assy, whatever, crispy egg roll-ish. At the end of the day, you know, there was actually a decent amount of stuff. But look, 31 years, you better have done something. I mean, Jesus, right? I see you have a surgery scar on your wrist. Is that work-related? They had this? Is this what you're talking about? This lovely thing? All right, what are we drawing? I wish it were work-related, but it was just... I had a tag removed off my skin, so. Camillo Romanista. Camillo or Comilla? Comilla Romanista has subscribed. Angry Panda 888. Buy your Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies are over. I was just being silly. All right. So do we have our 4 choices? Can I put this to a poll? We have Captain America. Who else do we have? Salty Kraken? Kraken? Release the Kraken? Salty Kraken? Alright. I'm just going to go to the mod Discord channel. Mods, if you could post there, if you've been following the stream, let me know what we have. I for sure, Captain America. Bearded Dad 72. What's the difference between follow and subscribe on Twitch? Follow means you are just following the channel. You get notifications when we go online, go live. You sub, you get access, I believe, to the custom emotes. You are eligible for these Sunday giveaways depending on your level of support, and there are other perks. You access more areas in our Discord channel. So we have a dedicated Discord channel that basically supplements the stream, and in there, again, you don't have to be a sub, but you get just a couple channels. But it has a stream schedule. But if you're a sub, it has places where you can show the artwork you've collected, show your own artwork. You can post up artwork that we do in the draw-alongs. Make suggestions to stream, talk about upcoming events, appearances, introduce yourself. What else can you do in there? Talk about movies, comics, and stuff like that. Okay? All right. Mudlight has resubscribed for 3 months. Apparently, it's my 3-month sub anniversary, but I've been here longer since the start. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mudlight. Duly noted. Duly appreciated. All right. So we have Captain America, Stan Lee. All right. I've drawn Stan Lee before. Actually, I drew him, but it was never published. It was, I've drawn him probably published before, but I was going to do this. They had done a Rolling Stone interview. Kevin Smith had interviewed Stan Lee and was approached to do the art for it, but the deadline was too tight. But I did a rough where it was like Stan Lee and Silent Bob, and Stan was like Galactus with his hand out, and all these characters that he created were jumping forth along with Silent Bob. I have a rough of it somewhere. I probably posted it online at some point. Batgirl and Mr. Freeze. Oh, Pity 83 was not one of the people, unfortunately. Whoa, yeah, it was Syrixian. Syrixian, do you have... Nolan Elric. Jim, do you mind when Marvel digs up your old drawings for current covers? I did have an issue with it for reasons I don't want to discuss, but I think with the change of leadership there, and I know all those guys, I just reached out to them, talked to them about it. They took care of me, so I'm happy they did it, and they did me right, so I'm appreciative of that, right? Syrinxian, do you have one? Kareem Art from Italy. Hello, how are you? The DC Talent Development Program is happening this year, but it's open to people that are working on the young adult line of books that we have. So it's not open to a more general pool this year. We're bringing a lot of different voices and talent into DC to work on these books aimed at young readers from middle readers from like 7 to 12, young adults from 12 on up. And some of them have never worked in graphic novel format or comics before, and so we're bringing in established veterans to come in and kind of walk them through, like breaking down the story into panels, continuity, flow, choosing great angles, all that kind of stuff. So thank you, FAC586, for the sub. Mike Elfin, oh man, I was going to apply this year. Well, think about it this way. You have more time to refine your portfolio. And at the end of the day, if you're good, it's not like we only hire like once a year or twice a year or review work. If you have great work, we're ready to hire you right this second. So, but if you want that extra boost where people are kind of teaching you, that's great. But frankly, you can teach yourself. There's so many resources online, including these videos. Other artists also stream and YouTube their knowledge. There's so much more stuff about how to produce comic book art than ever before. Really, there's a ton of wealth of information out there. All right, so what I'm going to draw, killing too much time here. MB King, 1991, Silver Age Superman #3 has cheered as well. Okay. Did we figure out what's Syrinxian? Jay Kavner, thanks for all the art streams as my Sunday ritual. Now I could actually win something. I'm thinking about moving the time. Crispy. Sarin, however the heck you spell it, wants Cloak and Dagger. Alright. That's 2 characters technically. Whatever. Okay. Who to draw? For the giveaway. What do we have here? We have Captain America. We have Stan Lee. We have Batgirl. We have not Mr. Freeze. Cloak and Dagger. Okay. I'm gonna put this to vote. So basically, then I will sketch the choice, the will of the people, and then this will be given away to anyone who's a sub. And there's a bot that actually handles that, and it's somewhat reliable for the most part. And then I mail it out to you. I pay for the postage, unless you live outside the contiguous 48 United States. In which I ask you to cover postage. There are people that have won from like England, for instance, and that's it's like $40 or $50 to ship something out there, properly, as they say. All right, so I'm gonna start this poll while we're continuing to chat. It should pop up in your chat. I don't know if you can do it if you're on your mobile device. And Nightbot has informed me that I have burnt almost 25 minutes talking about a lot of nonsense. All right. I do think Twitch needs to keep updating their standalone Twitch app. It has gotten better, but it still needs to be more robust, as they say. Ranabot Live. Hey, it's Randy Mayer. Hey, it's Randy. Are you going to have another coloring activity like you did with Wonder Woman piece you did a few years ago? Yeah, you know what? Randy is a longtime Wildstorm artist, colorist, staffer. He works at DC here in Burbank now. Say hi to Randy or Rama Bot. Yeah, I should do some coloring. I should do some coloring on my Cintiq. And that's duly noted. I will sort of mentally update my suggestions for streams. I do like having a variety of streams, and there's so many different things you can do with art, and that's why I feel like that's why I was sort of excited to start this channel. I felt there was all these different creative ways to keep focusing on creativity and the artistic process, and whether it's design, coloring, layouts, long form drawing, short term sketching, even talking to people about the business of comics and how to conduct yourself. And I think someone asked like what people get paid. I don't know if that's of interest, but you know, you can make a living from it, and you can make a very good living from it. You should do it if you love it. That's my bottom line. I mean, I didn't get in this to become financially well off. I got into this business because I love comic books. I didn't want to do what my parents wanted me to do, which was to become a doctor. I wanted to do something I loved, and comics were my passion, drawing. And but at the same time, look, I did want to know a little bit about the financial end. I didn't want to starve. And back then, there was no pre-internet, anything about comic books. No one had any clue what was going on. And I tried to dig around, and I did discover something that was actually a court case that over some, I think, IP issues, intellectual property issues, ownership or something. And in it, certain comic book artists, well-known comic book artists, had to give depositions. They had to go on the stand and talk about their careers under oath, which means they had to tell the truth. Or back then you had to. I don't know about how it is now. Anyway, and in it, one famous comic book artist basically said he made $300,000 a year, and this was a while ago. And this was like, I want to say the 80s or 90s, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. And it was a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But back then it was even more money because the dollars were worth more back then. And I said, wow, if I can make anywhere between $0 and $300,000, I'm fine. I'm happy. That's perfect. Put me right in the middle. And after that, I didn't look back. I didn't care at all. And, I made that after my first week in comics, so I'm just kidding. Anyway, it took several years, I think. What are we at here? Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Let's see what... Okay. The winner is Batgirl, 54.4%. You guys can probably tell. I don't even know if I need to announce this. Stan only got 4.4%, which... but we all know and understand the legacy and the impact he had. I think people just don't want a sketch of Stan. Because we have so many treasures from the man already in the form of the comic books. Then Captain America was second, and Cloak and Dagger at 10%. So thank you guys all for voting. But Batgirl it is, all right? Hey, what Batgirl are we doing? Are we doing Cassandra Cain? Are we doing Barbara Gordon? Are we doing classic Batgirl? Are we doing New 52 Batgirl? Are we doing the Millennial Batgirl, as I like to call it? Do we have to vote again? Okay. All right. Hold on. We're going to crowdsource this baby. Am I missing any versions of the Batgirl? The Yvonne Craig, is that that actress' name? I say Batgirl. Burnside is the. We can put All-Star Batman and Robin, Batgirl, and we'll put, am I missing one? Let's see, Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain with mask off. Now it's getting really, like, we're going to keep subdividing this and have more and more polls. But, you know what? I'm going to do this. Gosh, I had too much fun typing. This is I've got this badass keyboard. I want to thank PK. I don't know if he's awake. He's another guy that I'll say one thing that unites all the mods and Poop Kid. A lot of us don't. You know what? I take that back. Some of us don't sleep a lot. Some people sleep but stay up late. How's that? But PK is another guy. who's always around, and the guy, he's young though. Okay. Redesign your own Batgirl. There'll be none of that, please. All right. So, what's Rebirth Batgirl? Rebirth Batgirl would probably be classic, I think. No, Batgirl Burnside, I think. Can't spell. Hold on 1 second. All right. We're up to 847. Awesome. Our goal, short-term goal a while ago, was to hit 1,000 concurrents, and we did that last session. And then last night, that, we broke through that by quite a bit. Got over Yvonne Craig, so we got over 5,000. So it's great to see people returning and checking it out. So go ahead and vote. You don't need to type it into the chat. I created the poll. Stephanie Brown, you're right. I did forget. I don't know if I need to go back in. Arkham Knight Batgirl would have been great too. There are so many Batgirls at this point. Jim Lee as Batgirl. I'm sure people want to see that. Fantastic. I have been working out. Not really, dude. Can you see my diet? I mean, seriously. That is one thing I need to change. Now the question is, if Cassandra CAIN comes with a lot of votes, should I add the two together, or are they separate categories? Because by splitting up the way I did, I say it without mask, the mask off. I don't know if I hurt her chances or not. All right, I'm going to check out the results. What do we have? We have 23% classic, new 52. Wow, I am shocked. Cool. 30%. Batgirl Burnside 3%. All-Star Batman and Robin Batgirl 2%. Cassandra CAIN at 39.6%. Apparently the person that wanted her without her mask on was just that one person, right? So, all right, we have our candidate. We have it. Samurai Jack. Okay. Combine the Cassies. What? I don't need to. I think the one with the mask won. Carl Papa 333. Wait, Jim, not to be mean, but are you going to draw or? No, I'm going to just keep talking. Drawing is work. I can just talk and talk. Oh, orange juice. Need the caffeine. All right. Oh, I could have put the. Do I need to do this again? No. Okay. Finally starts drawing. What is the official time? Nightbot. Please mark it on YouTube. I can just mention it. It's at the 10 dog emote. I probably need the dog. I don't know when the dog sleeps. I think he's on the same schedule as Kirihiko. And Ren Elephant. Is Ren here? No, he's at work. SpongeBob me 40 minutes later. Rorschach again. 34 minutes, 57 seconds. That is what the YouTube clip should say. Drawing starts 34:57. Thank me later. Yes. Okay. But I feel like I have to do these updates and all the, intro stuff just so people that are new know what's going on. Okay. Batgirl. Cassandra CAIN. I need to Google this. It's a black costume with like yellow piping. I realize that, but I think from memory, her cape is kind of shredded. Definitely a full-faced mask that's completely enclosed. I've only drawn her once, actually. And excuse me. But it's funny, even I see different versions of her costume. That one's cool. Okay. 1 minute. Jim doesn't draw. Take a shot. What for a superhero swimmer who's 16 years old? Happy birthday, superhero swimmer! Talking about taking shots. Parents of superhero swimmer, beware. I speak from experience. Many teenagers pass through this house. All right. Energy drinks make you dizzy? Perhaps, yes. This dog. You know, I keep upgrading my my art studio. I just like all these devices. I feel like I'm upgrading this my workstation, whatever. You know, it's every little bit makes for an easier, more pleasant experience. And frankly, I'm a guy that's never really done that in his career. All my workstations really have just been tables and a light. I don't futz around with too many other things. But because I've been streaming and because it's a lot easier to stream if everything's in the right place, you don't have to keep moving equipment around and resetting it up, I found places for everything. I got like hooks that are basically attached, and now I need to get soundproof tiles to basically put on the wall behind me. So, yeah. Or I just need to move. Maybe I'll just move for my Twitch stream. I'll just move to a very quiet street, you know, in a secluded area with fiber optic. I think that probably is easier to do, frankly. There's a mailman being mauled to death. Yeah. Good thing I'm not annoyed by it. Okay. Trying out different poses now. I was going, it's a little static. Maybe a pose that kind of speaks more to her. I think she has a baton, right? My wife messaged me, hi Carla, how are you? She's following the stream. She's like, that's not our dog. I didn't say it was our dog. I'm just saying it's a neighbor's dog. Our dogs bark at like 7 in the morning. That's that's how I keep waking up. Does she have a staff? I believe she does have a staff, right? A couple more arms and I guess spiral sketch right here. There we go. There's spiral. Spengy4 has subscribed to tier 1. Thank you. Welcome in. Joke too far in the house. Yes. Yes. Everyone say hello to my wife, Carla. Hi, Carla. Damn it, don't say it like that. That was lame. She does fight more with her hands, but I could have sworn she has a staff too. Can anyone confirm? Oh, River says hello too. She's like, oh my god, ha ha ha. Okay. We're at 936. We're getting close to that 1,000. I like that. The sound of 900 people typing Carla. All right, do we have an answer with the staff? You know what? We could. This is comics from now on. Guess what? I'm a professional comic book artist. She now does have a staff. How do you like that? Just create some continuity there. That's how it works. And maybe it's a very unusual type of staff. I know she fights with her arms, okay, but kind of. Right, so, yeah, I'm gonna just keep it kind of straightforward, right? She's not a character to really overshow, is that a word? To be bombastic or showy. She's a character that knows she's a badass, has been trained by the best, is a teenage killer and assassin, and looking at reference here. Okay. And this, I think there's stitching across her mask, correct. Am I correct? I believe, yes. Welcome back. Okay, you got the Absolute Edition of Wildcats. You know, I should show that book on stream. The collected editions people, Jeb at the office, they did a fantastic job with it, with minimal to zero help from myself, and my assistant Eddie did a lot of the art direction as well, and helped put it together. It is a fine, handsome looking edition. All right. That's as much of the underdrawing I care to do at this point. We go to markers. I'm busting out a new set of markers for you guys. Eddie's my assistant. Eddie Choi. Oh, these are colored markers. Never mind. I don't know why I brought those. Okay. Edgar Alien Poe has resubscribed. I remember that name from before. Very clever. Spengy4, who I've just mentioned, has resubscribed. Mania755 has made a donation. What hero gives you the most trouble drawing, or the one you least like to draw? I'm sure I had an answer for you last night at 4 in the morning when I was working. That's usually when I am the least partial to any character that I'm drawing, regardless of who that character is. Boy, but historically, I was. All right, I'm gonna show you something. It's here's the answer, and it's not a good day for Stan because I'm gonna mention Spider-Man. Oh, I shouldn't even show this. Let me put my hand right here. Okay. Careful, Jim. Let me see. Hold on a second. All right. So this is a Spider-Man I drew very quickly. Can I tell you, it was the worst. It was just the worst. I mean, it's not a great Spider-Man, but just doing it just made me break out in hives. Oh, I can feel it again. And it's that webbing. After you finish drawing this cool figure that's all spindly and wiry and everything, which is a lot of fun, then you go like, oh, I gotta do contour lines across the whole figure, and then I gotta do this webbing. And I gotta remember it's concave or is it convex, and then you have to do it consistently so that it actually mirrors the contour of the shape that you're drawing that you've drawn. I mean, it's like the scales on Aquaman's vest or tunic or Captain America's chainmail. But I think it's even worse because at least with those, I could put it in shadow and I could fake it. With Spider-Man's webbing, it's got to be kind of consistent and perfect each time. And man, people complain about the complexity of the New 52 designs I did, but I'm telling you, Spider-Man is far like. So I probably sketch Spider-Man once every 5 years, something like that. And I did that one because someone asked very nicely. But even as I was doing it, I was privately cursing underneath my breath. This marker's almost dead. Adios. Okay. It's interesting to me if my wife is truly watching this stream. She's probably just kind of watching out of the corner of her eye. She doesn't watch me draw. And she probably wonders what I'm doing up here. Laugh out loud, ditto. It should have said Ditko. That's why the black costume is so good. I guess. Oh, here she is. She's got her own private stream, like text chat stream going on. All right. Yeah, I know I drew that, of course. Drew for Lucas. Yeah, I've drawn a couple times for, yeah. I was inspired back then. That was before I was broken. This marker's dead too. I'm gonna have to just throw out all my markers. Okay, that one's too thin. Too thin. Too thin. Not black. Try this one here. Crispy, you're not helping matters. Exclamation point. Timeout, Crispy. So this is mostly, what I like about this choice is that it's mostly a black uniform, but it's like this pleather, leather, something, I don't know. And so I know I'm gonna have the opportunity to come in and do whiteout effects over it. And the original costume looks like it's fairly straightforward, but I think I'm going to tweak it a little bit. But now I'm thinking, I like this kind of weird hand, like, you know, I don't know what she's doing there. I feel like she's pouring sand out of her. Maybe it's salt. She's got a salt container. I don't know. I should probably decide before I continue to ink what I'm doing here. I don't want to ruin it with this baton. She would use a sword though, right? Correct? Right? I don't know yet. I'm still going down, just kind of sketching it out. I'm actually not going to put too much detail into the figure work because I'm going to go mostly to black with it. And then she's going to be standing in the rain. right. This is a 0.2 marker. It's very thin. Oh, we hit 1,000. You're right. We're done. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Thank you, all the mods. It's been a wonderful session. Okay. Jason Loker has subscribed using Prime. Thank you very much. Big Boss 138. Betas has cheered. Digi doesn't damn exploding exploding something 42 has subscribed. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Pity 83 cheer. Thank you very much, Pity. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. Now I separated the camera from the table, so I should be able to. I want to see how this looks here. I should be able to erase it. Is it shaking the camera? No, it's pretty good. That worked out pretty good. Do have to say so. Black Rush. Black Irua has resubscribed for 6 months. Thank you very much. So while I'm getting ready to ink this, I will talk a little bit about upcoming appearances. If you go to our Discord channel, I'll talk about Discord first. So it's a supplement to this stream. In there, I think I mentioned this at the beginning. There's a lot more information about what's going on in the stream, in between the streams themselves. It has an upcoming appearance schedule as well. And, excuse me. So we have WonderCon next week up there. Fridays and half day Saturday, and then I'll be at Album in Paris mid-April. Then the following week I'll be in Lake Como in Italy, and then I think the following week I'll be in Calgary for a day Saturday. And then in May, and then I forgot actually, early April. The week after WonderCon I'll be at Graham Cracker Comics. Wednesday, April 4th, and then I think on the 6th I'll be at C2E2 for the morning session for signature. So there's a lot of activity, and this is after having had trips to DC, Orlando, Austin, Mammoth, Vegas already. It's been a very, very busy year, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down until June. All right, so I've got a brush and I've got some ink. Here's a brush. Here's some ink. This ink is almost dead. And then I have these water bottles that I use, that I drink out of. Eraser white. I know some of you are OCD, and having these eraser shavings is really something that bugs the crap out of you, so I apologize. But they always say like the best way to get rid of a phobia or some sort of weird complex is to wallow in it, to embrace it, right? To desensitize yourself to the issue. I mean that's a lot. That bugs even me. That feels bad. Feels bad, man. Bad. I can only imagine the discord it's creating. And those of you that are afflicted with this terrible phenomenon, am I making Am I making light of mental illness? No, I am not. I'm just poking fun. Thank you, Beliasa. Anyone can quote stuff, but I have to say Beliasa does pull out the funnier ones. That's why I always call it out. It's like, that is a stupid thing to say. I mean, me, not you. What time will we be at WonderCon on Friday, Jim? I will be calling out sick to go. LOL. Brotastic man. I'm there Friday, I think in the afternoon. I think 3:30ish, 3 o'clock-ish. Till like 6 or whatever. And then Friday or Saturday morning, there's a 10 o'clock panel I'm live streaming with Dan DiDio where we talk about all things DC. We have a lot to share, a lot of great information. And then I sign right after that. So I think I'm done around 12 or 1. Okay. Jamonster66 has subscribed. Thank you very much. Ignite Comics has resubscribed for 5 months. Can a 5-month sub get a Green Arrow sketch MegaCon? I can't. This is kind of my way of giving back to the people that sub and is doing these giveaways, because as grateful as I am for all the support, there's still too many of you, and that's a good thing to have, honestly. I'm not complaining, to be able to do a sketch for everyone, so I apologize. And once I go down that path, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's like... and I'll tell you that even when I do sketches for people online, and I don't do that often, so please don't ask, I'll tell you that people are happy when their expectations are met. And if the expectation is, hey, I'm waiting in line, I'm just going to get a signature, people walk away very happy. Once I start sketching for someone, people get happier, but then the very first person that follows the last person that gets a sketch, ooh, you should see the faces I get. Yeah. And at that point, I go like, wow, I just lost a fan. I just lost someone that thought highly of me and has supported my career and supported my work. And then you go like, why did I just put myself in that situation? Why did I make a few people happy at the expense of making all these other people very unhappy and angry at me? So really, if you think about it, there really is no upside to sketching for people, unless you can sketch for everyone. It's literally that truism in grade school. If you're going to bring some, you got to bring some for everyone in that class. So that's my hesitation. Run elephant, true. Slow down. Slow down? Slow down? What do you mean slow down? You mean slow down the drawing? Why not charge money? For like a really quick headshot that takes me a minute and a half? What do you think a fair price would be for something like that? Because I see them on eBay for like $150. And actually, one guy was trying to get $2,000. He didn't scam me. He got me. I did 3 sketches for him because I just felt a certain way. I don't know, whatever. So he's trying to sell them for like $3,000, then $2,000. I don't know what you're not going to get that much. And if you do, you basically rip someone off. So I appreciate the fact that he's a fan, and but I don't know. I don't really support that. But yeah. How much? What do we got? We got $2. We got $53,000. Bart Sears fan. Love it. $1,000, $10, $100, $80, 100. So you're saying for 1 to 2 minutes, you would feel happy if I took $100 from you? I don't know. I think that's just a bad look, personally. Free for me. But maybe not. Maybe I should. Screw it. I can make $10,000 in a signing session from just doing those. I should just do it and see how much I could actually make. I don't know. $20-$30 range wouldn't be so bad. It's easy for you, but the skill is worth it. But I'm telling you that at $20-$30, it's the same to me as getting nothing. And I don't mean that make light of $20 or $30. I'm just saying that it's still, quote, quote, underpriced to market value, right? So when you do a sketch, the way I look at it, it's a gift to you, and I'm giving you something of value. But if I had to charge you, I think it would be in the $100 to $150 range. I just think it looks weird to do that quickly. I don't know. But maybe that's just me, not you. I don't know. I'd rather, if it's $20, you keep the $20, you give it to charity. I don't know. It's a strange discussion to have. All I'm saying is, so early on, when the price of my sketches, I started in this business, I did full figure sketches like this for $15, 1987, and then charged $20 the next year, $40, and that felt right. It felt like it was supply meeting demand. And then when my career kind of really started taking off, by the end of paid sketches that I was doing at Comic Cons, I think we were getting like $100, and I felt guilty. I felt like, wow, I pinched myself. I'm getting $100 for a drawing. I mean, that takes me X amount of time. And then I just stopped. I said, like, I'd rather, and plus the other thing is, I felt like I had to deliver on $100. I had to provide something. Oh, there's a belt. Okay. Less talking, more reference checking. That's marker. Anyway, I've mentioned this before. So I felt like I felt bad, and I felt these expectations that I had to deliver something worthy of that, and I just freed myself of that responsibility and said, I'm just going to draw whatever I want, or a very simple request, and if the head sketch turns out cool, great. If it doesn't, so I saw it more as a marketing activity, being at conventions and interacting with fans, and just really kind of exciting them about what I do as a living, and get them hopefully excited about. Hold on a second. Sorry, 1 second, guys. That was my inker saying, hey, when's the last page coming in? And just told my assistant, come by. You can meet Eddie. He's awesome. Eddie, if I could tell the secret origin of Eddie, was a fan that I saw him at a store signing somewhere, I can't remember where. And then I was like in Florida for another store signing, and I said, "You look familiar." Because he's a very big Korean guy, and there's not a lot of very big Korean guys. And yeah, he said he flew in, so I was like, "Wow, this is a dedicated fan." And I kept seeing him around at different. I mean, it's one thing to go to a convention; it's another to do store appearances, and I admired his passion to it, and he seemed to know an awful lot about the work I created. So, in a healthy way, I thought. And so at some point, I needed an assistant, and I wanted an assistant that could take care of. Look, you get assistants to help kind of book or schedule meetings and all that kind of stuff, and that you can hire pretty easily, in my opinion, or more easily. But I also need an assistant, or if I said, look, I need a shot of Batman in the Rain that I did. Can you pull some up? They need it for consumer products or whatever, or this person needs it, or hey, I need a shot of the Justice League that really kind of shows this era of costumes. And someone that you hire that has never read comics before, they would not be able to help me in that. And then now here I am, Googling my own work, trying to figure out the appropriate reference, and then getting it at the proper file. So Eddie actually worked as an art director at an ad company, and so he had a lot of experience just working in digital files, and so I trust him to do a lot of the stuff. If there's some packaging with my name on it, he'll look at it, he'll approve it, and make recommendations with me or without me. So I trust him implicitly in that regard. And then in terms of my work, I mean, he probably has a better understanding of the catalog, the full range of the stuff I've done over the years than I do at this point. And so, hey, if they need a sketch of Superman for the South by Southwest exclusive cover, he knows where it is. He does the scanning. He knows all the file, where all the files are, and so it's great having someone like that in your corner because, man, it makes me a lot more productive with my time. And so he's going to come over and pick up that page I finished last night, and we're going to courier it down to Scott Williams, and we're going to get it done. So that's the secret origin of Eddie Troy. And he's not just a fan of my work. He's just a diehard comics art fan. He goes to shows on his own dime, independent of DC. And he'll go, wait in line early, put his name on, commission lists, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, got completely sidetracked, but I was talking about something. What was I talking about? Talking about the right price for a free sketch. And then, so then some people expect more for their $100, and so if they're not happy with what I did, I just don't want to deal with the customer relation side of it, of people not happy with something I banged out in like a minute and a half. Because maybe some people don't know what it's worth, and they're like, this is it? This is all I get? And trust me, there are always people that are unhappy with whatever, so I just don't know if I deal with it. So I'd rather just do a free one and just, say, well, look, it's free. What do you want? I would say it much more politely than that. So you can see the dilemma I face. How's that? If it is a dilemma. But man, at $100 you do 40 an hour. Let's say 30 because you have to take selfies. It's not 10 grand an hour. It's three grand an hour. And I'll tell you that even though I do it fast, there is a progressive kind of just burnout. Just drawing the same thing or the same kind of shot over and over very, very quickly. It looks pretty effortless, or I try to make it look effortless, but it's like running a race. It's like running a sprint, right? You can do it once. You can sprint, 50 yards or whatever pretty quickly. 50 yards. 10 yards quickly, do 100 of those in a row, and then tell me how you feel, right? So, and I think the most I did, at Big Wow Comic Con, I want to say San Jose, I think I signed for 2 or 3 hours and did freebie headshots for every single person at about a minute and a half per sketch. And you can do it, but man, I have my head down. I'm not making a lot of conversation. It's not a lot of fun. It's work, because you're drawing as quickly as you can, holding it together, just trying to make sure that you're flying across the page, but not so fast that you draw something completely messed up. What's going on? What's Poop Kid saying? Hey, PK, welcome back. Anyway, so when you're trying to draw off that fast, I do it almost as a challenge to myself. How fast can I draw a sketch before it goes off the rails, and then I mess up things like the lips or the eyes or the shape of the head, and then how long can I keep this up for? It's a little bit of gamesmanship on my part. But that has nothing to do with you. But look, if I wonder, and if I meet people, random places, I'm happy to sketch. It's no big deal. I'm not trying to make it a big deal. I'm just saying at conventions or at store signings, it's all about supply and demand. All about supply and demand. I do sketches for people that don't even want to sketch. Like, I hope you don't throw this away, but I know some of them probably do. Like our wedding planner for our wedding, she had a young son and a daughter, and I did I think a Supergirl and a Wolverine. They weren't comics fans, but I figure they're super young, they won't know. But here you go. Thank you for helping plan the most special day in my relationship with my wife. And so we gave her that and another nice gift. So she got 3 things, but she didn't ask for those. But I felt like, oh, this is something personal from me to you. And but I don't know what happened to those things. What are we at? 11:18. I didn't pay the wedding planner with a sketch. We paid her in full. Trust me, we paid her a lot of money, and we gave her a gift and 2 sketches for her kids. So it's, yeah. Have I ever had a page soiled? Like, what do you mean? Like, by my children or something? Like, change my kid's diaper on my drawing table? Like, ooh, just soiled that page. Batman Hush. Can you move on to the next sketch? I'm bored, laughing my ass off. Perfect. That's the that's the feeling I'm trying to elicit. Perpetual tweaked outness. Okay. Let's see. What am I gonna do with this cape, though? What are we gonna do? This is the relaxing Sunday morning. What else am I gonna do here? Alright. Oops. That's a remnant from something else. Thank you, Papa Bayu for subscribing. Skooma Party has resubscribed. Melty Purin has subscribed. Trevor Kai, hey Trevor, has cheered. You are great at fan interaction. Hope you feel affirmed. Thank you. I try to share some thoughts. I realize sometimes my filter's not on, and I'm probably saying things that are not appropriate, and not so much in terms of language, but maybe I shouldn't be sharing some of these thoughts. But at this point, we've probably talked about everything that's possible to talk about. So why hold back? And maybe you guys can share some insight from your point of view as fans. And I know some of you go like, no, I'm appreciative of everything I get, but trust me, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've seen people just really get upset, and yeah. But anyway, the reason I did that Spider-Man sketch, someone asked me nicely, and for whatever reason, I had some downtime, and I thought, well, I'll go, and this seems reasonable, and then waves of regret filled filled my soul. Okay. For those of you bored by this drawing, let me tell you that it's a very basic pose, and I wanted it to mirror her personality. But also, I know I'm going to do some stuff behind her in terms of the background. It's going to be raining, and I think that it's going to be mostly a black on black kind of sketch. And in fact, I think it's going to be mostly black down here. I just have to, this just kind of start, I'm actually kind of drawing with ink at this point. I'm layering on. Yes, no dynamic pose here, yes. I didn't really feel like it was appropriate for the character. Okay. Okay, 12:30. But I do need to finish so I can do one other. Okay. No plans to visit Pittsburgh anytime soon, sorry. Alright, oops. While we're waiting for this to dry, I should figure out what character I should do for the silent auction. That will be the one I do next. I'll probably go over the noon mark. I'll probably draw till about 12:15, 12:20. So we can do another poll. Psycho Olive, thank you for subscribing. I don't know if I asked you before, is this Pete from the Bay Area? If that is so, confirm. If so, I've known Pete for a while. Off and on over the years. Ryan Randall 03 has subscribed. Junior Champ has resubscribed. Polly Wants a Cracker has hosted with one viewer. How dirty do my hands get? Depends. I mean, usually the underside gets quite dirty from all the ink. Okay. Usually I do a lot of grays using dry brush, but something like this where I'm not going to necessarily erase the pencils, might as well go in and add some grays. Just with pencil lead. Alright, so when I do this, I see a couple things. First off, I think this is too light in here, so that's going to get darker. And then I'm going to wait until I do the background, which is kind of this cloudy effect. I'll be right back. All right, so I've got this tissue paper here. Yes, Jaime Ramirez, he knows the deal. He knows the score. So basically, I just kind of put some ink on here, move this over here so I don't get it all over the drawing board. I'm going to have it be mostly a white, kind of a halo effect around her head. So I start a distance away so that when I get over here, it's going to be drier and it's going to be grayer when I get there. Okay, it's starting to get kind of gray, so I can start approaching this area. Kind of continue that grayness. Hey Eddie, how you doing, man? All right, here you go. Thanks. All right, thanks, appreciate it.
Yep.
Take the week off.
Thanks.
He knows I'm just kidding. That's why he laughed. He was in and out like a flash. So Eddie and I have been working together well before, even before DC bought Wildstorm, and so, I would never ask a regular assistant to come on a Sunday. So he's going to take that page in, he's going to scan it, package it, send it down via courier. So very, very thankful to have a guy like Eddie in my life helping me out. Big part of my success. Part of the team. Yeah, Eddie is a man of few words. If you know Eddie, he's not like a big chatty guy. I should have said, you better be in at 6 a.m. tomorrow. All right. Let's see if, I would say this is about 65-70% done. Maybe even more. Okay. And I'm going to just go to black here. You know what? I'm going to do it with this. Probably better. I just realized it's been a while since I've sketched. I've been doing all these pages. I haven't, but just as well. I think I was doing too many of these kind of similar technique sketches. So it's like, it's been a while since I've done this kind of blur effect. It's fun. It's relaxing. And this is what I was saying, like I want to kind of take this to black down here. See, by applying different pressure, I can get more ink out of it, just like if it were a brush. If you think about it, it's the same concept. It's a absorbent material that basically holds the ink, and through application of pressure and direction, blah 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 blah. You know, stating the obvious. Okay. Oh no, the video. Oh, the video is stuck. Is it stuck for you guys or just that one person? I do like anime and manga. I wouldn't say like I'm like a gigantic fan, but yeah. Working fine. Good. We're at 12:52. So you can see it's kind of like a blobby smear at this point. And I don't like, see how like this is so bright down here? That makes no sense. I don't want the eye to come down here. And it is right now, so I'm going to have to go dark. So I've actually kind of created just like a nice gray sheet of paper. And now I'm going to go in and I think she's got spikes here. If she doesn't, she does now. Okay. And I'm going to add a little rendering. Did we establish? So, Batman Guy 4, so Abatis, Jay Kavner, and Unagizilla. If you guys could submit your ideas for the silent auction character to be drawn, do so now, and then the mods will kind of collect what you suggest, and I'll open it up to a vote to everybody. So now I'm going in and just adding rendering. You can see that. Very fine. And you're going like, wow, it's so fine, like I could barely see it. Does it really make a difference? And it may not make a difference for that respective little line, but then you'll see, I think, as a cumulative whole, when you look at, when I go through and make these adjustments across the entire sketch, that this collective bit of texturing just adds a little fine level of polish. And it's something that you don't know until you do it. Like if you ever have shined a metal object or anything that needs buffing, you go, oh, it looks shiny, and then you do another round, go, oh, it's shiny here. Wow, there's a whole different level. And the more you put into it, the more refined and polished it gets. And I think a drawing can be that way. There are times when you're like, oh, it looks finished, and I go, like, no, well, if I just add this little detail, oh yeah, that takes it to a kind of completely different level, right? The trick is, though, sometimes you go too far and you're like, oh, I've ruined it. Okay. So I'm basically... This is a brown marker. I was going, it does look a little different, and sometimes that happens. But you can't really tell. Trained professional at work, ladies and germs. Trained professional. I was wondering why I could see the line. It looked a little like, there we go. All right. That was fun. All right. And someone can confirm, she does have like stitching across the entire costume, right? Not just her face. Yes, that is correct. So even just going in and cleaning up some of these shapes down here, very subtle thing. But it helps pull it together. Alright, let me see if the mods have if they've called the information here. Whoop! Don't need that phone. Let's see. Who else was it? We have Batman Guy 4 says Grifter. JCav says Hush. Hush. Unagi says 90s Psylocke. The last one would have been Abatis. Batman Guy 4, Jay Kavner, and Unagizilla. Pepe the Frog. We were talking about Pepe the Frog in chat. Like that was created by a comic book artist, and then it got kind of appropriated by the alt-right, and then I think he was suing them for damages or something, like that they stole this IP that he had kind of created. Very interesting turn of events. So I'm going in and modifying gray values. It's 1140, so I'm going to wrap this up. I think I'm pretty done with it. I'm going to add the white out, the rain. I knew that this would all be done kind of moodily. It'd be very atmospheric, as we like to say. And now, even looking at it, I feel like I need to go to more black here, especially when we get down to here. That hand is going to create a shadow, cast a shadow across that thigh. This underside that has reflected light, I just need to bring that down a little bit. Darken that in here. Leave that light, reflected light on the crotch. Darken this core shadow on this thigh, so it kind of disappears into the shadow of our cape. Okay, so we have the choices. I'm going to go ahead and start the pull up while I wait for the ink on this to dry. I basically have to do the whiteout effects. show you a little trick of how to do rain. Okay. While we let that dry. Whoa. Let me see if I can try to get more of it in frame here. Turn it this way. Well, obviously I have to add white out to the belt. And the reflected light, the stitching, the rain. There's a lot more final details, but it won't take long. Okay, so Brogan, thank you for the cheers. Russell, thank you very much for the 810 bits. I appreciate that magical number. The idea of evil has subscribed. I like the notion that the idea of evil can even subscribe. It is living, real. If people wonder if evil exists, it does. Miss Fermat, thank you for the cheers. Joshua 34 has resubscribed for 3 months. I appreciate the continued support. Coach 2 Coins has cheered as well, as has Poop Kid. Draw a sketch that no one can ever pay for. Pound. Draw a sketch that no one can ever pay for. Pound? I don't know. I'm going to meet Poop Kid. I'm excited to meet Poop Kid next week. Are you guys excited? He's going to be at WonderCon. He's coming down from Reno. Be exciting. Be interesting to put faces to names. I've actually met a lot of people from the stream in DC and also in Austin. I think there was at least 10 different people that came up. Not everyone who is part of the 1,200 people online right now are active in chat, but they do watch, and it's always it's cool when people come up and say hello. So yeah, Crispy's excited too. So yeah. Okay, so here's the poll. I have the characters. Get ready. Just if you haven't realized, I was a big game show fan as a kid. Okay. I can already tell you who I think is going to win, but... Okay. Okay, here are our 4 choices for today. Go ahead and dwell on that. Do I consider drawing to be a superpower? Honestly, I think my ability to work super hard, I consider to be my secret superpower. Yeah. It's not like I was always, I think, a little more talented than people in my age bracket, but it's not like I was born and I just drew. I drew a little bit better, but what am I trying to say? A lot of work goes into this. That's all I can say. And so I feel like it's the benefit of the many, many years of training and hard work. And I'll tell you that in my career, I have both mentored and tried to train people that had immense talent, just natural talent, young kids with natural talent, but they just didn't have the either the drive or the desire to put in the time and get better at their craft. And I think they like either flamed out or they just kind of hit the wall. And I think it's very discouraging if you think you're really great or perhaps better than how you are and you don't get quite the level of success you feel you're entitled to given your abilities. And so they drop out, they leave, they go do something else, or they just stop drawing altogether. So it's not all of just about natural talent. There's a mix of hard work and the desire to market yourself. There are people that are very, very good at what they draw and work hard, but really don't care to go out there, do conventions, do interviews, do anything on social media other than sort of the bare minimum. And again, I don't know, I guess that's tied to hard work. I don't know. I just think you can't necessarily just expect to do awesome work and just sit back and go like, why haven't they found me? Why haven't they recognized my genius? I think that's it's dangerous to think that, or it's naive, or lots of other words that escape me right now. Okay. So the way I look at it, I've laid down the darkest values and I've laid down the midtones, and I have the very lightest areas, but I need to pull out this drawing from this kind of gray mire that I've created with whiteout and with rain, with splatter to kind of give it the full atmospheric effect. And if I had known I was going to do rain, I would have had. Let's see if I can find. One second, guys. I'm sure it exists here somewhere. This might work. I don't know if it will, but we'll give it a shot. Let me test it out here. Okay. So there's two ways you can make rain. You can go to the club, or you can study your craft, get better at art. I'm looking for whiteout. What happened to all my whiteout? I said tube upon tube. There it is. So the way you've traditionally seen me do rain is with this whiteout Presto pen. There we go, people that are familiar with emotes. Okay. So here, rain. Okay. Or you can get like an X-Acto blade or a knife, a sharp instrument, and you can basically drag it This isn't particularly sharp, so I'm getting more of like the dits than the lines, but that's the other way. So I've seen originals where the paper is just literally torn up. You can actually rub your hand over it and feel all the knife is better. Yeah, see, the thing with whiteout, you get the line. With this, you get more of the droplets, right? But the problem is if the droplets are super regular like that, it looks like a meteor shower. Oh, R.I.P. your ears. Yeah, sorry. Okay, that's enough of that. But I've seen originals, I think Bill Sienkiewicz and stuff, where it's just like, oh my gosh, 3-dimensional. You can like run your fingers over it. It's like so cool. This is died. Okay. And then I've seen Sin City originals from Frank Miller. He does it all with whiteout, and he just puts so much. I mean, it's just like splatter upon splatter. Again, very 3-dimensional. It's awesome to behold in person. And that's the value of original art. If you look, I know a lot of you guys work digitally, but it's almost like finding a dinosaur skeleton and kind of deducing backwards how that dinosaur looked in real life. And when you look at originals, particularly ink pages, you can almost work backwards and go, oh, that's how they created that effect. Oh, I didn't realize that was Zipatone. I didn't know that was a razor blade. That looks like Kleenex smearings. Because when it shrinks down, it looks different through the power of reproduction, and not sexual reproduction, but publication repro. Right. The same way watching these streams, you go, oh, that's how you create that effect. Oh, you go and do that kind of after the fact. You add the details of the whiteout and some of the highlights then, right? Rain splatters across surfaces, ground. These are the biggest splatters. Get some off the shoulders, of course. boots over here. Okay. Okay. I don't know if, okay. Do her boots have spikes on them? I don't know. Okay, let that dry a bit. We'll end the poll. What do we have here? Phantasm at 18%, 90s PSYLOCKE at 53%. I think once you pass 50%, it's a winner, especially in any poll. So it's going to be 90s PSYLOCKE. She did not have spikes. Thank you very much. Okay, so the last thing I do is tighten up some of these highlights I put in. And I need a marker for that. Okay, here's a 0.3. I'll save this for later too. That's going to be helpful. And just work on these reflections a little bit. Tighten up this bat logo. The problem with like the Pentel white, I don't use the other whiteout that comes in jars or whatever. You have to apply with the brush. It's too much work, clean up, control, all that stuff. It dries out, cakes out. The Pentel stuff lasts for years. The only problem with it is it gives you a pretty uniform line, and so you have to often draw a thicker white line and then go in with a marker like I am and draw around the black and thin out the black line. If that makes sense, right? Thank you very much. We got a couple subs. Dario, Clambeard, Gamer Guy. They're all in. They're holding out. They're going like, I don't know if I want to subscribe until I see what you do. Is it worth subscribing for? All right, so I'm just going to finish this up. I'm just tightening up some of the lines. I'm going to do throw some splatter on here. This will be ready to go. And we'll give this away to someone who's out there that has sat through this very long and tedious discussion about what to charge people for very quick sketches. And one person will be happy, others will be annoyed. Particularly those who have been around for a longer period of time and have been supportive of this channel. I just always pray when I roll these things using the bot that it's someone that has been a subscriber or a supporter of the channel for a long period of time. I'd literally go like, hold my breath, like please, 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 please. And not that I have something against any of you new guys, but you know, I just know human nature, man. I was a psych major. It interests me. It's malleable. It is often predictable. It's both. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. So stop. Okay. Evil Jewel has subscribed. Thank you very much. Okay. So again, the lines I put down here are thicker than I would have liked, and then I just go back in with the marker like this and thin them out. Okay. Because when they're too thick, it doesn't read as what I'm trying to draw, which is highlights. They look like white lines. Okay. Yeah, congrats. Someone has been a sub for 2 hours. Yeah, so micron pen size is that? That was 0.3, I think. So now I have my handy dandy Starbucks card, which still has a sticker on it. I think some people find that it annoys them. Take any corner. Sorry, I did that right next to your guys' ear. Sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm dispiace. Take this. And the bigger splatters come off first, so you want to lay those down. I don't think I got anything out of that. So those are where the water, the raindrops are hitting the ground. The shoulders. And then lastly, the head on that side particularly. The hip. Pretty much anywhere where the water's come in contact with the form, the water droplets basically bounce off. If you had a camera and it was shooting at a fast enough frame rate, you would see the droplets of water. And sometimes they do that in movies. It looks pretty cool. All right, that's my Batgirl. Sorry if it was a little Mike Stewart art. That is not a technical art term, so no good. No bueno. All right, I'll give this away at the end. So hang in there. It'll be for subscribers, and I'm gonna basically. Okay. Yeah, this week it's subs only. All right. So, okay. I'm going to put this over here, somewhere over here. Actually, you know what? If I had... One second. Okay. What are the monkeys? I hear monkeys. What the heck? Here, hold on a sec. What the heck is that? There we go. That's better. Touch off the light too, because there's a lot of reflection going on. It's actually a lot darker than it looks in the frame. Let's see what happens. Actually, let me just turn it down. Camera angle. Alright, you got that. You got that. You got that. Alright. For Psylocke, I'm going to find the sound of blades swirling in the air. Okay. It is 12 o'clock, 12:07, so I'm going to jump onto Psylocke here. Someone cooking bacon. Yep, that's what it sounds like as well. All sorts of wonderful things. Okay. Psylocke. 90s Psylocke. As opposed to 80s Psylocke. Okay. This is all going to depend on the ability to draw this upshot, so I'm going to draw that head first, and if I can get it where I want it, the rest of it, I'm golden. I don't know for the upshot. After having drawn everything, I'm thinking now the downshot is the way to go. Confirmed. Angle works better. And then this is going to be all black in here. Here. And then cast shadow right here. Okay. Please pull her hair back tight and leave a single strand down the front of her face. It's very specific. Single hair fetish alert. 2 hours, 5 minutes. Okay, perfect. Let me put that there. Let me close this out. Baba Majaga has resubscribed. Thank you. Apate 2015 has subscribed. Perry Node, Tisidius, Blue, and Brobastic Batman have all subscribed. Dizunga Europas has subscribed. Dr. Draper TV has also subscribed. El Bruzdik, Mortal Monday, Robocaris, Maruno, Cowboy Bro Bop, and the Cole's Cole, Psyops 1, RJ3N, they've all subscribed, man. Perfect. DWJ Author, Gothy Miri, Diag 33, President of Jelly Beans, have all subscribed as well. Evil Jewel I've already mentioned. So thank you guys for all your support. Subscriptions allows me to continue doing this. And let's get to this. I'll go into a little bit of how this works so that I don't have to explain it at the end. A lot of times people kind of panic because it's a lot of interesting or different kind of information that's kind of dropped on them at the end, and they're like, well, what? I don't understand what's a whisper. So there's a couple different ways to message people in Twitch. One is a traditional email, which are the messages. If you're on a desktop, it's I think on your right hand side. But then they have something that's more like a direct message or a text, which is a whisper, and that's I think near your chat. It's like to the left of your chat box, I think, on your desktop. And I think it has a separate call out if you are on your mobile. And rather than kind of subject you to the circus of a live auction, which can get emotional, and then people kind of maybe overbid on something because they get caught up in the drama of it all. I do what's called a silent auction. So basically, ask people if you're interested. Go ahead and submit an offer. One offer only per person. Whisper it to me, and in the whisper, just say PSYLOCKE and then the dollar amount. And that way I don't even have to open up the whisper. I can just look at the stack of it. And based on what that number is, I don't even announce who won, so it's confidential. I usually will announce the amount so that people who keep track of this kind of thing know what that is. And then I contact you directly, and ship you the art, and it's different. The other stuff I have to personalize. I personalize it because it's free. This is more like, I guess, a traditional commission, except that it's sold after the fact. Okay. I probably need a thicker marker. Let's get into the body of it. 0.5, that should do it. Is the auction for charity or for it is for me, and it goes into a fund, and I pay for charitable things out of it. So if you want to know some of the stuff where the money's gone, there was a GoFundMe for those of you that followed Wildstorm for a while. There's a colorist. He works primarily, I think he's exclusive for Marvel. Justin Ponzer, recently diagnosed with cancer, and so there's a GoFundMe. A young guy, super talented, always the most upbeat, sweetheart of a guy, And anyway, so and then some of the money went for relief to the hurricane that affected Houston. So there are a number of. There was also a someone who works in the comic book industry that was there was a huge fire out northwest of LA this past summer, and they had just literally purchased this home, and it got completely burned to the ground. So there was a GoFundMe there. So a lot of it's through GoFundMe activity. So yes, that's kind of where it is. But is it for a specific thing? No. But there will be actually. Sorry. I'm doing a piece of art for my kids, one of my kids' schools. They do it through Bidding for Good, I think is or the site they traditionally use, and you'll see a piece. I think it's gonna be Batman and Wonder Woman, a piece like that, and you're gonna see that. I'll provide the links for that through Discord and Insta and Twitter. For those of you inclined to buy 11 by 17 piece of finished art. I might even draw that on screen. But then I was toying with the idea of doing sketches for the school fundraiser, and so all that money would go towards the school. I'd probably have you just pay the school directly. I don't know. I'll figure that out, the details. Okay. What else we got going on? The link for Justin's GoFundMe, it is still happening. I posted it on Twitter and Insta. I think I put on Instagram. Insta is like just not great for doing that kind of thing because you can't put a link. You always have to put it in your bio, and you only have host essentially one thing at a time, so it's a bit of a hassle. But if you just Google Justin Ponser, Ponser, he does these blog updates where he talks about his treatment, and he's super upbeat. I mean, the stuff is funny, and you can see that he's just really, fighting it like a trooper, and just got completely the right attitude. But it's heartbreaking at the same time because you don't wish this upon anybody, and even though he can talk about it in a very matter-of-fact kind of way, it's still got to be hard. I can only imagine how difficult it would be having had family members deal with cancer and lost their lives to cancer. It's tough. It's very tough. Hawkeye, dang you, Jim Lee. I've been sitting here for an hour plus. I can be quiet if you need to go. Congrats, Stormtrooper 1577. Ramabat Live, yes, that's right. Yeah. So Randy was another one. At Wildstorm, there was a number of people that have been affected over the years. Nick Banabat lost his battle. Oliver Nomi. These are all young guys, too. Rich Johnson. And you do what you can in terms of support, both emotionally, financially. Wow, this is turn into a bit of a downer. Let's shift gears, shall we? Mike Turner, yeah, another great. Anyway, all right. Polyphasic sleep, that's right. Clark W. Prince has subscribed. Ram1 Low has subscribed. Jaroslaw E has resubscribed. Thank you for the continued 6-month support. Shadowland Art has also subscribed 2 months in a row. Woot woot. A Howard Stern fan, apparently. Obviously. Batman Guy 4, thanks for the cheers again. Flow08 has subscribed. Wicked Core 88 has gifted a sub tier 1 to Demonia 87. That's very, very kind of you. I always find that it's nice to see that level of camaraderie, support, generosity, what have you. Winston 1982 has subscribed. Happy 26th birthday. Yeah, Abeta says cheered as well. Thank you, guys. Sin LOL has subscribed using Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime, of course, owns Twitch. They provide every Amazon Prime member a complimentary Twitch membership. You can use it each and every month to support and subscribe to the stream of your choice. It's a great way of sort of exploring the world of Twitch and seeing what interests you. Okay, so this marker is dead as well. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe just to just get some damn reliable markers. It's my own fault. I'm a penny pincher. Yeah, I mean, these are expensive markers, though. These are expensive, to be honest. They're like $3 a piece, something like that. And you think, well, that's not that bad, but I mean, I'm buying them in bulk, dozens at a time. And yeah, dead marker remote. Yeah, I think someone created one, a dead marker remote, a fan in chat, and I gotta find that and use it. I'm a little bit behind on my custom emotes. I try to make all of them. Not Crispy made a bunch of the face emotes. Kira made this very disturbing emote where I'm missing my nose like Voldemort. She made the Booster Gold emote. Another fan made the tissue emote. I'm sure I'm missing others, but I'm not above using fan-generated emotes. And I have to swap out some of the emotes I have now, because some of the ones like Family and even Bob Ross, they don't really get used anymore, so it's just kind of taking up a slot. And I thought I would just create them and they would exist, but now I realize, no, it's more of a fluid situation that I have to swap them out based on kind of where the conversation goes and what sort of the in-jokes kind of end up being. I'm long overdue on a crispy crispy emote, but it'll get done. There's no finish line in this. This is just a continual thing. That's what kind of fascinates me about going in and watching people stream that I don't know who they are, but they've built up a following. They've been doing this for like 5 years. I'm just curious, like, the journey they went through, and that's got to be really interesting to hear, because I've been doing this for just like 8 months, maybe 7 months, something like that. And what I'm doing now is already very different. I mean, it was literally very comical, like the level of technical issues I had early on. I still have them, but not as bad. Still do the blunder where the audio's muted. But in the old days, like, I had autofocus on, lighting was horrible, there was camera shake, drawing off panel. It was not good. It was not good. But it's all right. I knew that going in, and I didn't mind learning on the fly. I'd rather have done that than hired a bunch of people, paid a lot of money, and nailed it off the very first stream. Because I feel like that would have been a lot of pressure to get it right, and then it would have felt like work from the beginning. It would have been very stressful, as opposed to this kind of journey where I've kind of learned about OBS and microphones and streaming and bitrate and all this other stuff. So to me, it's been an enjoyable learning process. I do like sort of the confluence, the intersection of art and technology. And for me, that's kind of what this Twitch stream represents. Someone asked me before, like, why did I start streaming? And I'll tell you, initially, it was to do something with my kids. I think I did a live Instagram where I showed our then 11-year-old kind of guiding a copter in Ghostland or Ghost Recon Wildlands or something like that. It was just funny. It was just funny watching him play and streaming it. And then you realize, oh no, there's dedicated platforms to this. And so we had this notion of like, hey, we can all game and stream, and so I can put some art, maybe attract some people that way. The gaming part has kind of fallen to the wayside a bit. It's still around. In fact, we're going to be streaming a game that's not even out yet called Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. It's by a guy named Brad McQuaid, a friend of mine. He's one of the co-founders of Variant Entertainment. They produced EverQuest. That's really the game that really kind of made Brad's name with John Smedley. And so they have this new MMO that's pre-alpha, and they're giving us a sneak peek. So myself, Ren Elephant, Crispy Egg Roll, and PK are going to squad up with some people from Visionary, I think that's the name of the company. And we're going to do a dungeon crawl this Tuesday night, I think starting at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that. And kind of, the game's still very early on, so you have to kind of, if you know anything about games and you've seen games early on, you know that all the graphics aren't there, the lighting, specular effects, all that kind of stuff are, is to come. So you have to kind of use your imagination. And if you know anything about game development, it's easy to kind of envision what the final game will be. But the idea is to kind of give you a glimpse behind the scenes and talk about what they're trying to do, which is create a very kind of traditional, old school MMO that has real consequences, a very distinct kind of counterpoint view or approach than games like World of Warcraft. And MMOs are really, I'm not as big of an FPS player, although I'm huge into PUBG, but in general over the years I've liked MMOs, and I've liked strategy games like Sid Meier's Civilization, although really it was Civilization 2. That was the best. I think that was the height of my Civilization obsession. Then Call of Duty, as far as FPSs go, prior to PUBG, especially Modern Warfare and the World War II stuff predating the current World War II game that's out there now. I haven't bought this current World War II game yet, but I need to. But it's very fast-paced. From what I've seen online, it's very fast-paced World War II game, and I like the games that have a little more realism to it, move at maybe a slightly slower pace, because that would have been more of how it would have gone. I realize it's a game, and you don't want to have a game where you're just always searching for cover and taking cover. But at the same time, I don't know if I want a game where I'm literally just like charging the enemy all the time. Although that's actually my strategy when I play these kind of games. All right, don't. I don't know. Someone's saying don't in big capital letters. What games do I play with my kids? We play Rainbow Six Siege. We're playing that multiplayer, squatted up. one of my kids had his friend over, so there were 1, 2, 3, 4 of us playing. No, 5 of us. So the 2 kids, the 12-year-old and the 17-year-old, both had friends over, and so there were 5 of us. So I was playing in my office. The other 4 were in the game room, and that was a lot of fun. And that's a fairly realistic game, except for all the kind of weird superpowers you get from the character unlocks. But in terms of the design of the environments and the locations, yeah, I know. Look, Crispy, you have to understand what I say and what I do are completely different things. I'm a parent, and all parents know that that's the life, the double life we all lead, right? Crisp sleeves. Yeah, Rambot Live. We also played the original Medal of Honor in La Jolla. That was awesome. So, and there were other games. Remember that vector-based game? I don't know if you were, Randy, no, this was back in Mira Mesa. This is the early days of video games. It was a vector-based game. And vector is just like, you see lines. There was no texture mapping. And it was essentially like sort of tanks on ice kind of thing, a vector game. And so the great beauty of the studios that I've been involved in, the office spaces, that everyone had computers and they were all networked together, and we would get games. And so after hours, everyone would get on the computer, and we'd have these gigantic, PvP matches against one another. So, so people at the studio in La Jolla would play Medal of Honor. We also had a sit-down arcade, so there'd be like these Street Fighter. I think it was Street Fighter was the game. With a giant it was like one of those giant HD TV console games where you sit down and in front of this TV that's dedicated to the game, and there would be like these all-night 1v1 tournaments, matches. It was pretty nutsy. But we were playing PUBG for a while, but I think the fact that I got kind of obsessed with the game led my kids not to want to play. The younger one in particular, I think it wasn't his speed. So he plays Fortnite. I can't get into Fortnite. But I understand. I mean, it's to me, it's like a younger version of PUBG, I think. It's more playful, easier, probably less frustrating. And what else did I play? We used to play WoW, so almost all the kids have. At one point, we had like 4 or 5 accounts, I think. I think we still do. And we played Horde. A bunch of the kids play Overwatch. I would play with them, but I never got the bug as much. I enjoy playing it. I play pretty much Roadhog over and over. I've mastered mediocrity in that character, I want to say. Unlocked that ability, that achievement. But mostly PC games at this point. We did get into console heavy for a little while, and I think even Call of Duty Modern Warfare was pretty much on the console. But really, I let the kids kind of dictate it. I there was a time when I was heavy into EverQuest where I put in crazy hours in that game, and what I get out of it, I got a cool virtual flaming sword. That's what I got out of it. So it always interests me that a lot of these games now have their virtual economies where people pay real cash money, hundreds if not thousands of dollars for skins for knives in like CSGO, or mini skirts in PUBG. But then I just paid a lot of money for a keyboard, so who am I to talk? You know. All right, Zooks808 has subscribed. Geek Cyclist has subscribed. Midget Corruptor has subscribed. Little Person Corruptor has subscribed. Ace Enforcer has subscribed. Martyrdom has subscribed, as 8th Hussar. from the old school Napoleon Waterloo Hussars. I don't know. Hawk3Y3 Hawkeye has subscribed. Thank you guys. Yeah, there was a lot of like gambling going on at CS:GO. I was playing CS:GO with my kids for a while there as well. So you can see I'm doing the rendering through cross-hatching. You could do it through dry brush. Just creating gray values, really. Just it's a little slower, but I can kind of control a little bit more. And I know I'm going to go in with black over here. And I want this to be in contrast to it. GoBlue95 has subscribed. Thank you very much. I paid €37 for a Batmobile in GTA 5, worth every penny. So when I was heavy into EverQuest, I actually bought accounts. There's a guy, he was a molecular biologist at Stanford. He was an assistant professor, I think, or associate professor. And he was part of the guild. And he had a high-level healer and some other character, I can't remember. So I bought it off of him for $1,200. Yeah, insane. And he was like swearing off, playing these games. But then sure enough, like 3 months later, he's like, hey, can I buy back my characters? So I sold them back to him. For $2,400. No, I sold it back to him for the same price, man. Guild members for life, right? VZA in the house. Well, he was here before. Did I tell my wife? No. What, are you crazy? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I was way into it. But you know what? Here's the way I look at it. And this is why I don't fault people for buying virtual trading cards, or I wouldn't buy a virtual miniskirt for my character. But I did go and buy some gold in WoW. When you're not playing a lot and you don't have time to grind it out, like, you just want to play. Like, right, let's just get some gold, loot up, get some loot for our characters and do the fun stuff. What was I trying to say? I don't know. I forgot. What I was trying to say. Oh, so I'm trying to defend. I'm trying to rationalize these insane purchases. I think if you really get into anything, it costs you time and money. I mean, that's very few activities. Even if you go hiking, you got to get the right shoes. You got to get water, maps, compasses. If you really get into it. Okay, hold on a second. Oh. My wife. Tell your wife what? Just got home. ... Thanks, guys. Thanks for getting me in trouble. Anyway. All right. Okay, it's getting a little warm in here. I don't know why. My wife doesn't get mad. She's super, super understanding. 1,200. No, it's 2 EverQuest accounts. Two of them. I would 2 bucks. This is sort of the height of my gaming, solo gaming career. You guys know what 2 boxing is? Most of you probably do, right? Carla Jim's blowing all his money on internet things that don't really matter. Yeah. 2 boxing is when you put 2 computers next to each other and you play both characters at the same time. So I would have like a tank and then a cleric or healer, and you basically have 2 keyboards, 2 monitors, and you macro all your spells. I have not showed her the real Force keyboard, but she knows I bought one. You guys are gonna get me in trouble, man. What's going on? What happened to the Brotherhood? I'm kidding. She's very understanding of all the ridiculousness of this life I lead. An elephant. Okay. I don't know if I should put the highlights down the center band, so I'm going to leave them for now and see how it looks. I might have to go all black to make it work graphically. I wasn't chilling. I was on stream working, man. I wish I had time to just chill. I need more ink. What time is it? 12:43? Okay. I need to speed things up, so I'm going to ink with a little bit of haste, but not too much. I don't want to mess up what I've put down already. The brush is weird. It's not holding as much ink as I would like. It's I probably need a 3 brush. This, I believe, it's a 5. Interesting. Every brand has different designations for brushes, but usually the numbers, when they go up, the tips are larger, can hold more ink, so this must be on a slightly different scale. Okay. You seemed out of it on that South by Southwest panel. Was that the same day as your all-nighter on Twitch? No. I'm sorry if I seemed out of it. I wasn't out of it. If there's anything, I flew in the night before. I don't sleep well when I travel. And with the jet lag, I don't know, maybe I just, usually the day after I travel, I'm not so good. But look, there are days when I'm more, like, my brain cells are firing all together, and other days when they're not. And so I apologize if I seemed out of it, but no, it wasn't. Although I had just, I don't know. Maybe I was kind of running on fumes at that point. But I wouldn't read too much into it. There are times when people come up to me at shows and go like, "Oh my God, you look so tired." I'm like, "Thanks, I don't feel tired at all." And so it's always a dangerous thing to say. It's sort of telling a woman like, "Oh, are you pregnant?" Even if you think they might slightly be, I always urge some caution before making that proclamation or asking that question. Okay. Okay. I'm like way off panel here. So I gotta clean up this shadow here. Let's see if I can do this properly. I've seen it done. I heard it's something that can be done. Oh yeah, that worked out great, Jim. Okay, forget it. I can just do it without that thing. All right. All right. Mania755 has donated again. Any tips or advice for someone who's 34, hasn't drawn in almost 10 years, but wants to get back into drawing? If you're talking about drawing professionally or for fun, if you're drawing for fun, maybe get a sketchbook and just, draw what you like. But if you're thinking about doing it professionally, try to draw every day if possible. And 34 is not too late. I want to. What professional started? I want to say. I don't want to screw up and say the wrong person, but there are creators that are working comics that broke in their 30s. A lot broke in their 20s, but it's not unheard of for people to kind of break in later as well. Okay. So I wouldn't necessarily give up hope. I think it's a little harder because typically people at that age have more responsibilities, right? Different expectations from family and friends. Life is cruel, man. By the time you're 40, you're expected to be a quote-unquote success in whatever profession you've chosen. I don't know why, I say, we've chosen to have this this structure with this success ladder, hierarchy, whatever. I think it's tough if you want to be a creative. Switch things up and try different things and kind of let your passions kind of dictate where you go. So I'm using thin lines here to kind of tie it in stylistically to what I have up here, as opposed to just dry brush. It'd be good if I finish this arm too, right? Markers. I might have just bought a lot of them at the same time, and so they're all kind of dying on me at the same time, whether they get used or not. And even when you buy a batch of like 20 markers, a lot of them might just be crappy already. Marker quality control not quite what it used to be. Sir Talon 132 PJs have all subscribed, as has Chuck Style 3030 and Blazing Chaos. 2 months already. Thank you for your support. Go Blue 95. I think I've already mentioned Go Blue 95. Thank you very much. This wrist is a little narrow, so in my head I'm already cataloging all the things I want to basically tweak and fix when I get to the whiteout stage of this piece, which should be momentarily. I'm going to start thanking people and doing the final part of this stream as I get closer to the end of this. I want to thank, obviously, our mods who were here last night and are here this morning. They are fearless in their lives and their scheduling. We have Kirihiko from Zurich, Switzerland. Ren Elephant, who could possibly be at work right now, I don't want to say. And then Crispy Egg Roll, who's recovering probably from a hangover, possibly. We had a wedding last night, modding from the wedding. So so please give them a hearty round of applause for being here, making this as informative and smooth going as possible. It allows me to do my job and focus on the art, because I know they're taking care of you guys in stream and answering questions and giving you all the information. I will plug being a follower. If you are new to here, just hit the follow button. You'll get notifications when we go live again. If you are intrigued and want to learn more about this stream, we have a Discord channel dedicated just to this. Check it out. You don't have to be a sub, although being a sub unlocks more of that Discord stream. Discord channel. What else can I say? Thank you guys for spending your Sunday, or wherever you are, part of your day with me and the rest of us. What's cool about this, having done it now for as long as we have, it's not just about the art or about my career or my stupid views on things, but a lot of times you guys have your own discussions and have for a while, and so it's good to see you guys kind of bond and talk about whatever it is you're talking about. I learned a lot of things. So now they're giving you information of how you bid on this. It is a silent auction. So after I get the bids, it'll take a little bit of time for me to kind of wade through it and find the thing. If you've never seen these auctions before, don't be shocked. It can get a little pricey. So past auctions have gone for a decent amount of money. And what I find is that characters like PSYLOCKE, or from my early part of my career that I don't really draw anymore, they tend to do well in auction because there are a lot of longtime fans that are obviously here because of the association I had with these characters. Okay. I'm just going to clean this up, do a little whiteout, and then the special effects of the powers. Clean up some of this, these random lines. I usually like to keep some of the pencil lines there because I think it gives a very kind of sketchy, unfinished, kind of a more of an unfinished feel to it. Like you can see the underdrawing of it, but sometimes the underdrawing is too dark, and it kind of takes away, it breaks some of the structure that I've laid out. And so I like to go in and fix things up a little bit. Okay. So I'm just getting rid of some of the darker lines here. But if I get rid of too many of the pencil lines, some of the pencil lines actually reinforce some of the black lines I've put down and make them look thicker or darker. And so if I erase the pencil, that means I have to go in and fix the the inks as well. So I need to be careful and just kind of erase what I need to in all this. Okay. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm now going to go in and add some slight shading, light sources over here, blue costume, and then what this blue this gray layer allows me to do is take the white out and add back in highlights. Allows me to do some blending here, some core shadowing here. Yeah. Okay. What? Am I forgetting the blade? No. I'm not forgetting it. So you can go ahead and put your bids in now, because as soon as I'm done with this, I'll go look very quickly, and we'll take care of that, and then do the the giveaway of the BATGIRL. Ignite Comics, thanks for another awesome stream. You're welcome, Ignite. Thanks for being here. Too many tacos to subscribe. There's no such thing as too many tacos, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Going in and adding some gray values, actually taking things to black through a light application of gray. It's dry brush, essentially. It's almost like a glaze of darkness. It allows you to kind of go in and do some very subtle things. It's almost like airbrushing in a way, maybe. I'm subtly able to kind of blend things together. Okay, here comes the whiteout effects, and I'll be done. That hip is out of control. There's like all sorts of undulations here I need to fix. Just tighten up. So it's been a while since we've done this live sketching. It's therapeutic. I encourage you all to draw. Why not? Okay. I'm going to stop there. Now, I know on the screen, people have said, like, even when I did the Supergirl, I think someone said, like, the head looks too big. You have to remember, my table is at an angle, and the camera is set, so it actually looks more like this. It's hard to, like, look how small her head looks there. So you can see how the camera angle really makes a big difference. And so, yeah, super underage Psylocke. Yeah, predator Psylocke. She's looking down at you. She's gonna eat you. So the reality of it is somewhere like around there. Okay. Hold on a sec. Hold on a second. Trying to find something. Not doing it very well. Oh, sorry, I had rain set up for the background. I've got some music queued up for this one here. Here we go. Here we go. There you go. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, we got to do the giveaways. So let me check my messages here while we do the giveaway. For those of you interested in the Batgirl, I think you just have to have been active in chat for the past 5 minutes and be a subscriber, so I can basically create that subgroup within all of chat here. So if I go into Nightbot, I thought I had it open. Oh boy. I don't see it. Did I close it out by accident? I might have. Okay. So, do me a favor, do not spam the channel, but all you have to do is say a word. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Giveaways, we'll do subs. That's just subs. There we go. So users active within the past 5 minutes are eligible to win. Okay, I'll give you guys a minute to deal with that. I will then look at whispers. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Okay, that's not quite. Okay. Psycho Olive is Peter. Hey, all right. I will. The identity verified. That's awesome. Welcome back. It's been a while. Pete used to be part of a very old Wildstorm fan club back in the day before those like social media. I don't know how it actually was pulled together. It must have been through email chains or something, right, Pete? So in the past, I've kind of screwed it up sometimes where I didn't see, because like if you get too many whispers, sometimes you don't see all of them for whatever reason. So I want to take my time and go through them slowly. While I'm still doing that, okay, we're gonna give this away. All right, so here's the Batgirl. Get ready. Here we go. Russell Heath has won. Russell, congrats. Russell is he's in the service. He's a veteran. He's actually overseas in the UK. So congrats, Russell. Long time Wildstorm supporter. Following since August 27th of last year. I think that's when we launched. And he's a subscriber. So hallelujah. Thanks, Russell. Okay. All right, I'm looking at the whispers. I'm pretty sure I think I have a winner. I'm double checking again, so I don't screw this up. I'm not sure if you all understood exactly how you bid. I think some people just wrote auction amount in brackets and didn't put anything. I'm not sure what that means. So, okay. Okay, I think the high bid is I want to say 36.48. All right, so thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I will see you Tuesday night if you guys want to check out this, have a sneak peek at this new game, MMO called Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. And then the rest of the schedule, I think, is already up on the Discord channel. I have WonderCon, so that's going to kind of interfere. I think I might be streaming Sunday of WonderCon when I'm back, that weekend when I'm back. And then because of all the travel in April, that's going to be a little bit challenged. But I will try to squeeze in as much as possible. There will be more late night, all night kind of drawing sessions. I enjoy those for very different reasons. I thank you guys for all the support, and we had a pretty good number of people tuning in today. We're at 1234 concurrent, which is pretty awesome. So thank you guys. Have a great one, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you again, Kirihiko, Ren Elephant, Crispy Egg Roll, and everyone else who regularly tunes in. There's so many of you at this point, and I appreciate you guys being here. It's good to have people support this and have my back. All right, thank you guys. Take care.